telling me want to go lower. As Indian Josh say. Market telling me. Oh, yo, what's up? I didn't realize I was live. Excuse me. I was talking to myself. As Indian Josh would, as my mentor would tell me, market telling me want to go lower, folks, not higher. Market telling me they want to go lower, no higher. As my mentor would say, or market telling me want to go higher, folks, not lower. They want to go higher, folks, not lower. Market bullish. They want to go higher, folks, not lower. Market telling me. Market telling me. I should have left a couple runners. Yeah. This is just a dead cat. That's all this is. This is just a dead cat bounce. They're going to attack sell side during the New York session. This is just to stop the people out that randomly see a lot of red and they short over inside the hole. So the market will probably bounce like 1%. Oh shit. Look at that. 1.3% bounce. They might come up here and pop this higher, and then they'll attack sell side during New York session. And then the entire New York session will be engineered to then hunt sell side. That's what they'll do. Now we'll get to see who can really trade now. That's what we'll get to do. We'll get to see who can really trade and who can follow models and who can follow risk management. All of that weird dollar cost averaging shit up there at that top is dead now. I want to see. We now get to see if you know how to trade now. I want to see. That's what I want to see. Be on alert. Mm-hmm. Uh oh. Brett says, "Oh, yeah." Mm-hmm. We get to see. Thanks for getting the likes up, Justin, Swerve, Millie. Thanks, guys. Javier, Javi. Thanks, guys, for holding it down. P.O.P. holding it down. Whoa. You got an app? Good job, buddy. Whoa, random stream? Ain't no random stream. No random stream. This is what you mean random stream? Uh, Mentorship. Give everybody like another 2 more minutes, and I'm gonna start. Hey, what's up, bro? Man, just chilling, Dad. What's going on? What's poppin', bro? Good weekend? Yeah, just chilling, man. I'm just trying not to hurt nobody, bro. Just hanging in there. You know how we do, chilling like a villain. Good, good. How was your weekend, man? Was all right? How was your weekend? How was everybody's weekend? How was your weekend, Brett? Hyper, J Walk, Abundant? How was everybody's weekend? Was all right? It was pretty good. Trying to recoup. Bro, like there's nothing I can do. Or, like I'm in a short and the market just, like I'm in a long here and like the market just does this, like it just bleeds out, it does something weird outside of non-farm payrolls. Now, like if you traded this using non-farm payrolls, then hey, there's no excuse for that because you shouldn't have been trading during non-farm payrolls. But even then, though, that within itself is a lesson. Like, hey, I lost because I know I lost. I was trading during non-farm payrolls. I shouldn't have been doing that. What was I thinking? Was I possessed? You know, like that. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. Like, was I possessed? Nonsense. Boo, money. Boss, what's going on? We need to be on hyper alert. That's what we need to be. Look at that. Glenn, does anybody have any questions before we get started? I want to ask how everybody inside Discord was doing. Is anybody confused about anything? And transparency is the best policy. If you otherwise, so excited for you about the best again here, exactly. Otherwise, me too. It's a holiday for me. I promise you, it's a holiday. I gotta activate those 20 Apex accounts. I gotta pay for them today, as a matter of fact. It's a holiday. Well, I was getting. That's not what I was gonna, It's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was, guys, you can't have both. If you want somebody to be transparent with you, and then not to be a furu and to lie to you and to help you develop, then you need to break that cycle and you need to be honest with yourself on a daily basis. How can that's how you're going to improve while you're in here. So if someone asks you a question or if you're unsure, like, maybe I'll be judged if I let them know that I was full porting everything on I was full porting all of my funded accounts on non-farm payrolls. Maybe I shouldn't have been doing that. I'll be judged. I'll just keep it to myself. No, you need to be honest and forthcoming. You want to know why? Because the beautiful thing about honesty whenever it comes to trading is if you say it aloud, not only will you help yourself, even if no one gives you any feedback, because you'll be like, yo, you know what? I released that into this world because I was tripping. Secondly, someone will tell you, be like, bro, don't do that no more. Especially in here, we'll be like, bro, don't do that no more, bro. Like, maybe that's not so much of a good idea. So, you know what? And then, you know what? You know what's crazy? You'll probably still do it again. But maybe after the second or third time, you'll go, bro, you know what? This is not serving me because I keep on getting, because not roasted, because we're not going to make fun of you. We're all adults. Because, you know, excuse me, because, you end up going, man, you know what? These people keep on telling me not to do this, and I have no excuses as to why I keep doing this thing. Like, I literally keep blowing up my accounts doing so. And I keep on trying to ask for help, and I can't. And like now, I can no longer ask for help because I keep on doing the thing that's not helping me. So, and I keep telling them about that. These people are going to start to think I'm kind of crazy. So maybe I should. Maybe in order for me to stop, sounding so crazy, maybe I shouldn't do that no more. I promise you, that's what I promise you. That's what's going to happen. Sooner or later, you're going to hold yourself accountable because either you stop doing what's hurting you because you keep on saying it for the sake of your own well-being or whatever. But if you keep it inside and you keep doing it, you can keep lying to yourself. Understand that. Understand what I just said. You can keep lying to yourself and you keep going, well, maybe next time. Well, maybe next time. Well, maybe this one time will be my lucky time and I'll get rich doing this. Like, you'll keep doing that. And that can go on indefinitely until you quit. But if you keep doing some weird stuff and someone keeps telling you about it, dude, it's going to force an existential audit. We're going to audit you. and we're going to correct you and be like, bro, don't do no weird shit like that again. But hey, bro, are you okay? Do you have like a fetish for like losing money or something, man? Or ma'am, what's going on with you? Why do you keep doing those things? Are you okay? That's what we'll say. Or that's what we'll imply, rather. We'll still be respectful towards you. They get ready to pop this high. We'll still be respectful, rather. But you get the point. Overreaction on Monday. Overreaction on Friday. Market bounce. Dead cat bounce. They want to hunt sell side during the New York session. Be on alert. I realized Friday I have a problem with overtrading. I traded Friday even though you said not to, and I lost half the day before profit. And I lost half the day before profit. What does it mean half the day before profit? Edit that, please. What do you mean? I felt like a fool going back to old habits of thinking I was catching the bottom, only to get roasted multiple times. What do you mean? Even have a and I lost the half day before profit, and I lost half the day before profit. What do you mean? You mean you lost your day's profit the prior day? Mm. I lost 200 of the $400 I made the prior day. Oh, okay. Well, even then, though, even then, though, believe it or not, that's actually not too crazy. But this right over here is getting, but this right here is this story right now that I'm getting ready to show y'all. You ready? From a mentorship. This is a $59 per month membership that people would probably charge minimum $1,500 to $2,000 per for. Absolutely no cheaper than $500 per month. You ready? Watch this. Look at well for sure for something like this. You see this right here? Look at this. So I'm showing him this so that he can see this right over here. Where's this at?
You're not streaming.
Oh, thank you. Let me share my screen. Here we go. I want to show my brother. What's good, E? What's up, Zay? You see this on Thursday, the multiple. If you've been turning the corner in stacking days, Friday is not the day to put that to the test. It is by far the hardest day to trade and correct mistakes of the entire month. It's either you're right or you're wrong badly. If you DCA or don't react fast enough, even on small size, you will blow the entire account on non-farm payrolls. And where there was not, but that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say something else. I was trying to say the floor will keep falling. I said the floor will keep. I verbally said that, so I apologize. I thought that I kept on saying this, so I verbally broke this down in a pre-market trading plan. Uh, with non-farm payrolls, it's going. Yeah, so that's what I said in the morning. I'm sorry. So with non-farm payrolls, so I thought that I sent this out inside here. I thought that I said that. I apologize. Floor. I know for a fact. This is what I said. Here it is right here. No. Wait. This is what I said. Yeah, I remember this. What is this? Market is trying. Oh, yeah, the floor will keep falling and ceiling will keep expanding. But I remember saying that prior too. With non-farm payrolls. Mm, mm, yeah. So, um, I won't say that, but rather, guys, with non-farm payrolls hunt straight liquidity. Hold on. Mm, mm, mm. I could have. I'm looking for a specific. I have ADD, so I got to stop myself. It's completely and utterly irrelevant. But the fact of the matter is non-farm payrolls is not a day in order to try and catch the bottom. You will get roasted. Everybody needs to come over here and we need to check the terminology page inside the terminology page inside the Discord. And if you click on this, it'll say right over here, high volatility level. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't catch falling knives on like non-farm payrolls. That's not the day in order to goof around. You will not be able to catch the bottom. As a matter of fact, we need to stop trying to catch the bottom. Just enjoy. Hold on. Timestamp 8:22. Let me get on with this class. That was completely and utterly irrelevant about that. Good job, Zay. Shitty. Guys, it's time to start the class. Does anybody have any questions about anything with the mentorship? Do you have anything that would like to be added before I go forward? We're going to try to figure out how to avoid fake outs. That's going to be the first thing. Then the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to target, no, the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to do a market structure quiz, and I'm going to test your intelligence. Then, depending upon if you get it right or wrong, you will then know how serious you need to be in order to help yourself identify fake outs. This is courtesy of Mike from Discord. Mike from Discord asked about how to avoid fake outs and confusion and a lot of BS that comes about. That's what Mike asked. So that's what we're going to go over. And then we'll open it up to questions, whatever the case may be. Excuse me. Let me start the music. Okay. They want to bounce this. They don't want to go no lower. This is dead cat bounce. Okay. I am going to test you. We're not going to, I am going to test you. Okay. If you want to understand intraday sell side, if you want to understand intraday sell side, honestly speaking, it's best to go to a 3-minute time frame because you can then see and scrunch it together because then you can then see about 5 days worth of data. Understand what I just told you. If you want to understand, if you're new to this, then what you need to do is that you need to have your notepad out and or your notes, and you need to be writing this down. Because if you can't understand what I'm getting ready to show you right now, you seriously can't become a millionaire trader. This is like you saying, hey, I want to become a multi-million-dollar chef. And I asked you and I say, hey, what's the first thing that you need to know about cooking? And you go, well, I didn't learn how to cook the food. No, you need to learn health protocols. Like you need to learn how to not get people sick. I'm assuming that that's the first thing. If anybody knows anything about cooking, I don't know anything about cooking. So I apologize for my ignorance. But I think that that's one of the most major things. But I do know for a fact that if you don't understand health protocols and like not mixing raw food and, you know, not lathering your raw chicken and mixing raw chicken over the and washing raw and washing your salads, you know, the greens on your salad with raw chicken juice, then I don't think that you're gonna have a lot. So you can't be a serious chef if that's the case. So it's the same thing here. You need to understand market structure. So with that being said, uh, let's see. Let me, let me do this. This is very important. No video on Discord. Okay, all right, that's over. Thanks, J Wall. With that being said, you need to come to a 3-minute time frame. If you don't have a 3-minute time frame, then you can do 1 minute. Because some of you may not have premium with TradingView. You should, because you should be able to invest $12, $14 per month in this whole ordeal. Understanding how to trade costs money a little bit. You need to have access to mm, to the basic things. You come to a 3 minute time frame, and in order to understand market structure, you just need to be looking at the highs and the lows. You need to be looking at highs and the lows, and whether or not that, I promise you this is weird, but whether or not that it is going in like a higher high, whether it's making higher highs or higher lows and lower highs and lower lows. That's all that you're doing. And so the market is always either doing this. This is just all that the market is doing. The market is either making higher highs or higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows. And it is doing that in order to fill orders. You need to understand that. Trading is a lot more simple than you think it is. It is how you want to participate. Understand what I just told you. The only hard thing that you are ever debating with trading is when they show you something, you need to ask yourself a very important question. Do I want to participate in this? That is all that we're doing. Does your strategy allow you to go, do I want to participate in that? Or, can I participate in that? And if I do, what are my chances of success doing that? You need to understand what I just told you. This has nothing to do with technical analysis. This is everything psychological. Because it may just be one thing that may need to click in your brain in order for you to start making $5,000-$10,000 a day. Like there's multiple students inside here. I just spoke to one this weekend. He knows who he is. He's actually inside this class right now. I promise you. I literally spoke to him on the phone for like 30 minutes. And he has his own strategy, and I don't want him to change that. So, but sometimes it may just be the psychological thing. So understand what I just told you. Hey, Khalil, what's going on? Lost 900. I was hopping in too early. We need to figure that out. Back and on the upside, trying to recoup. Okay, good. You need to understand that. You need to understand what I just told you. Okay. So, with that being said, that is all trading is. So sorry about that, Lorenzo. I'm sorry, buddy. The reason, so how I trade is ICT discretionary. I don't care if they go up or down. I don't care what they do. That's why my trading style can be paired with almost anything. If you've ever watched me trade, which I recommend you watch me trade for at least a week or so, I mean, I'm being dead serious before you even remotely even consider copying any trade that I have, because you need to understand what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I don't talk about ICT at all. I don't do any of those things. I am fully just trading full-blown price action, and almost everything is full-blown discretionary. So I'm using my market understanding and just going, well, the market structure, they're probably going to go here. They just swept this. They might bounce. Let me take a small little piece of the pie, and I'm just using the probability that they're probably going to target this, and I try to participate a little bit. That's all that I'm doing. Hola, Nika. That is all that I'm doing. Okay, so my trading style could be paired with anything, because if I said that they're probably going to go somewhere, that probably means that's probably what they're going to do. So at a minimum, if you were getting ready to do the opposite, maybe you should wait a little bit, and then maybe you could get a better entry. And then if you're not greedy, and if you just want to take a quick, simple little base hit, you can make a lot of money over the course of multiple days and multiple weeks. But you won't get rich that day. Like you won't make $20,000 or $40,000 on one account that day, but it'll pay off after like 2 or 3 weeks. But most of y'all have not seen $40,000 for 2.5 weeks worth of work. 40,000 USD, because I do have some people over here in Canada, some people in multiple countries listening right now, like Uganda or some other places. I'm talking, so whatever that translates to you, most humans have not seen $40,000 for 10 days worth of work. Why would that not be your motivation? Do you have something more lucrative that I don't know about? If so, then let me know, please, so that I can point other people in that right direction. I like what I'm doing right now, but I'll point other people in that direction. So that needs to be your motivation. So with that being said, we're getting ready to get into this lesson here. You need to be on a 3-minute time frame in order to understand intraday market structure. No, I'm sorry. We're going to go from the top down. We're going to go from the top down, and then we're going to go from the top down, and then we're going to go from multi-day buy and sell side. Then we will drop down to intraday. Then we will drop down to immediate. We just dumped 5.5 percentile in a straight line on Friday, and this market is still bullish off the chain. Do not be confused. They are still bullish off the chain, and that was just a simple reset. That was just to reset this market after we went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row. Slightly red here. Maybe slight little red. Excuse me. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, sideways 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 10 days in a row we went green just now. Okay. They just decided to come forward in one swoop, and non-farm payrolls can do so. This market is still bullish off the chain. We are still above where we were just 10 days ago. So don't get it confused. Go to a daily time frame, and then you can look at this market structure. Look at how bullish this damn market is. Look, they went from a straight line from 23,000 all the way to 30,000 almost in a straight line, pulled it back one day and went sideways for 2, and then liquidation squeezed it in a straight line for 2 weeks in a straight line. This is all that they're doing here. Hell, why not go 40,000? I'm being dead serious. Why not go 40,000 right now? It's the same thing I said down in here when someone was like, hey, like, you think we can go to 30,000? I was like, yeah, why not 30,000? I was like, why not 30,000? Why not 35,000? Why not? Hell, why not? Who's to stop them? Do you know something I don't know? All right. So with that being said, look at this on a daily time frame. This is multi-day buy-side parabolicism, however you want to say it. This is serious parabolic movement here. They just pulled it back for 3 days. This is nothing. So you can also look at multi-day buy-side. You need to just be looking at direction. Do not even look at these candles. Don't look at the candles. You need to scrunch the chart together, and you need to take your little paintbrush and you need to go like this. Look at what this market is doing. Look. These highs and these lows here, like this, these highs and these lows like this that you're looking at determine the market structure. It is the skeleton of the market. This is very layman's terms understanding of the market, and I know some of y'all are probably getting ready to fall asleep right now, but most people don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Once I start to get into intraday and immediate buy-side delivery program model, that's when I will lose most people. Guys, understand what I'm trying to get you to understand. You cannot be a professional athlete if you don't like lift weights. Most people don't understand that. Like most people think, hey, hold on. Let me put it like this. Don't put it like this. I find it absolutely hilarious, right? How most people think, because most people were trying to shit on like guys, because I have dozens of friends that are in the NBA, dozens of my closest friends, and like they like to shit on people and like they like to talk bad on people. Like, man, that dude is trash. That dude's making $5-10 million a year, and all he did was just play 5 minutes. I wish I could do that. But I had this conversation this weekend. You have absolutely no idea what he's getting paid $5 to $10 million like a year for, or every 6 months for, every 5 or 6 months. These people get paid to devote their lives on to do things that you don't see. You don't, you might see him for 10 minutes and he might score 5 points. And you're like, bro, I could probably do that. But what you can't do is you can't wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning every single day with no reward. You can't go running and work out 3 or 4 different times, 3 or 4 times a day, every single day, nonstop, for 15, 20 years with no reward. That's what they're getting paid for. And it all comes to show in that one little moment that you see, or that you can validate, or that you can't validate. But if you don't lay the groundwork down beforehand, you can't do this. And this is the groundwork right over here. So if you can't understand this and do this, then you can't be an NBA player. You can't be an NFL player. Understand what I'm getting ready to show you now. So with that being said, you need to be looking at the highs and the lows in this market structure over here. Mamba mentality, correct. You need to be looking at that exactly. You need to be looking at the highs and the lows on a 4-hour time frame. Anything that jets out like this is an external. This really ain't no external. This is more like an internal because this is still part of this whole move here. I'm talking about like major pullbacks, like this here, this here. This is all one move basically. This is literally all just one basic like one serious move here. And like this is still one move and they make this high and then they pull it back for multiple days. Wherever they've pulled it back for multiple days, a low point for multiple days, that then determines an external high or an external low. Understand what I just told you. And then when they displace from it for multiple days, that then confirms that external high and that external low. That is the first point that you need to write down. We need to wake up, and hopefully I'm not, guys, listen, the lesson is about to, guys, the class is about to pick up right now. Hopefully I'm not boring you and you're falling asleep. Understand what I just told you? You need to write that down. From like where we displace from for multiple days, that high or that low confirms an external or not. And you can only really see that on a 4-hour time frame. If you go on if you go anything lower than that, it's going to look like an external, but it's really an internal. You need to be paying attention to whatever happens after we sweep externals. The market immediately reverses in the opposite direction almost. Understand what I just told you, okay? So, with that being said, this is external. Does anybody have any questions before I break down intraday? So this right now we are in multi-day buy-side delivery program model. Why? Because we haven't even swept this low from 2 weeks ago, dude. Understand that. This market is really, honestly speaking, really still insanely bullish off the chain, really speaking, until we come over here and damn near take out this low. Why? Because they could really still do some shit like this, dude. Over the course of like multiple days. Like, dude, look at this move here. Look at this move here. Look at this damn move here. Does anybody have any questions as far as that's concerned? Yes, still bullish. Okay, good, Texas time. Does anybody from Discord have any questions? Before I move on. Because some people are probably trying to figure out why this market is just bouncing 2% like this in a straight line like this. Okay, no questions. We are now going to go to intraday, and we're going to go to a 3-minute time frame. Okay? On a 3-minute time frame right now, if I scrunch this together, do you now see how the image changes a little bit? Do you now see how bearish this looks? Look, bearish nonstop since Wednesday. I told Discord this. This market has been an intraday sell side really since we took out like this low over here on like Thursday or something. From Monday until Tuesday, once we took out this low over here like this and we swept this like this market was 100% confirmed bearish, and you should not have been swinging calls for anything more than 2 or 3 days. This was the first sign to short this market. For like 2 or 3 days, and just to be out in like a day or two. That's what you need to be doing. You need to understand how to trade within the market structure to then give yourself the best chance to succeed. And this will tie into the lesson for Mike's question as far as how to avoid fake outs and stuff like that. You would have been able to avoid all of these fake outs inside this zone here going up, like as in like you buy like a call, as in like you buy a put 3 or 4 days out and you just blindly hold it until whenever, until you wait for intraday sell side, and then you give your chance a better chance to succeed. If we go to a 3-minute time frame, if you're sitting here and you're holding on to, like, for example, look at this. This market was just doing this nonstop. Look, I'm going to go to a 3-minute time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to a 5-minute time frame so that you can so that you can see a larger picture here. On a 5-minute time frame, look at what this market was doing from the 28th of May. Here, 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 here. This market is just making higher highs and higher lows nonstop. It shifted whenever we took out this low here. The market was still somewhat doing this, but when we took this out, we only bounced up here on Thursday because it was gap fill Thursday. And then they just started doing this nonstop. So the market shifted its entire code. Understand that. That is on an intraday basis. This is every single one of these candles is 5 minutes, and I have it scrunched together like this on purpose so you can see the overall picture of what the market was doing. Over here, we were in somewhat intraday sell side for like 2 or 3. The market stopped doing this, and it started doing this for multiple days. Then whenever we took out this high over here, the market just started doing this again. Look, nonstop. Look, this is intraday sell side and intraday buy side. It will allow you to then better guide your trades. Why is this the case? Because why the hell, guys, hold on. Let me put it like this, and this ties to the Mike's question from Discord. Do you understand how hard it would be in order for you to succeed by holding on to a trade for anything more than 2 or 3 hours? For anything, you know who you are. If you hold on to a trade for anything more than an hour or two, can you imagine how hard it would be in order for you to perfectly time this bottom here? Like if you were just buying calls, or you were long it in the zone, and every bounce is being snuffed out. Every bounce that lasts more than an hour or two was immediately snuffed out in the zone. And it is the exact same thing in the opposite direction here. Every single dip that's longer than an hour or two was snuffed out. I am revealing to you their hand and what they're doing. Are you? Are you paying attention to what they're doing? So if you're one of those people who's like, bro, it seems as though every single time I take this trade, this shit goes against me, man. Or, man, I keep on holding on to this stuff, and I keep on getting roasted doing this. Like, I can't sit it out, and I can't say like, what's going on. Do you understand what I just told you? Maybe that may be the issue. I don't know, but that's what I would start thinking. Like, how long do you hold on to trades? Well, maybe an hour, 2 or 3 hours. I try to get 500, 600 ticks, or 1,000 ticks, or that's why you're trying to get 1,000 ticks. I don't know. That's the story for another day. But I keep on, my average trade time, which you should know, is like 2 or 3 hours. And I keep on getting stopped out. I keep on long in the bottom. Long in the top and short in the bottom. That's probably because you're going against the intraday sell side. That's probably why. That would be my first guess. Okay? So understand that. So next, now can you imagine how much easier it would be if you identified this right? And then like on these bounces somewhere in the zone, like every single intraday bounce you were just shorting and you were just holding it indefinitely, how much money you can make? Or like if like on any one of these bounces you would just like buy a call or a put, like any one of these bounces over here and this intraday sell, so you would just buy a put like 3 or 4 days out and you would just hold on the options chain because you know they're getting ready to go lower over and understand where they're going and watch for highs and low pops. But after every internal pop over here, like in an intraday sell side, like why not short it and then just wait for the next sell side to be taken out? I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm being dead serious. This is quote unquote trading like the banks, as they would say. It's not really, but you get the point. That is intraday buy side and intraday sell side. There's no wonder why you're losing trades because you're trying to take trades against this. Now, in order for us to understand immediate, ICT does not teach this like this. ICT may teach you market structure, but there was something more within the ICT because I was still losing doing that. That's why I don't trade ICT like how you think that I do. I understand its concepts and stuff like that, but I just trade strictly off of market structure and trades. and just full-blown raw price action and just liquidity. That's it. So we will now scrunch it together. Now we will go to immediate. Immediate to me is strictly engineered to that session at the absolute most. But honestly speaking, I like to pay attention to immediate over the course of like 2 to 3 hours at the absolute most. The market can shift from immediate buy side to immediate sell side over the course of a few minutes. Straight price action, that's correct. Understand that, okay? Like for example, on an intraday basis here, this entire move up over here was still bearish. But there's no way in hell that the market can bounce 1.5% and not be bullish. Understand what I just told you. The market can be bullish to get into the lesson here. We're getting ready to get into the lesson here. You need to don't look at these imbalances over here. You need to look at this screen right now, and you need to look at this screen, and you need to let me know right here, right now, by looking at highs and lows and based off what you've learned before, where the market shifted from immediate. There's only going to be a high and a low answer, and I need one number. From immediate sell side delivery program model, from doing this, remember what I said, one session. Excuse me, let me go back. From doing this to then shooting up and then turning bullish. I don't want to give you no hints. You need to be paying attention from where this line is here. From where this line is, the answer to your question is within this zone here. Where at in this zone did this market shift bullish in the immediate term to then go higher, to then start targeting immediate buy side delivery? Where at in this zone did the market go, I no longer want to go lower? And I want to know if you know that I'm no longer going lower right now. Right now, this second, I'm no longer going lower. Don't short me. Don't F with me. Don't F with me right now. At least, I'll probably say for at least 2 or 3 hours. Minimum, probably up for like the next 2 or 3 hours. Don't F with me right now, sir. Don't press that short button. I'm testing you. Don't do this to me. We're at in this zone. And then this is going to tie into how you need to navigate tomorrow. Because you won't know how to trade tomorrow if you don't understand this. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. 3290. So we got one person from a side Discord sending it. If you're driving, then don't do this. If you're a heart surgeon and you got me on your AirPods and you're performing heart surgery on an 87-year-old lady, please don't goof around and respond inside Discord. But if you're just sitting over here on your computer just goofing around, I need to know a high and a low so that I can confirm whether that you know market structure or not. Where at in this zone did this market go, man? You know what? I am no longer seriously trying to go lower, and I am going to seriously begin to go higher. Where at in this zone? There can be multiple answers. There can be, and I will address that. Where at? I need a number. People, so this is for future reference. Don't be discouraged. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you may be discouraged here. There is no zone 2. It is strictly a number. Like you're looking for a number. Like you see this? Like you're looking for a number. Like a specific number of some sort, a high or a low point, rather. Okay? A high or a low point. Like a high or low point somewhere in the zone where you go, this market just shifted its code. It's no longer bearish. I don't think this is bearish, or I don't think this is bullish anymore. That people, guys, you need to take advantage of every opportunity while you're inside here. Otherwise, you should probably try and go pay someone $1,500 to $2,500 per month, and they're not going to do this. They're not going to hold your hand. This is holding your hand to then helping you build the building blocks to become a millionaire. Because you can't do this if you don't understand this. I'm trying to get you to understand this now. So I'm warning you that you can't seriously do this if you don't understand market structure. You want to know why? because you're not going to want to day trade every single day. Once you start to make a decent amount of money, you're going to have to learn how to trade over the course of multiple days in swing trade. Serious, I showed you, but on a multi-day basis. And then they're enjoying their lives and they're going to go live out and just do whatever else they want to do. So the ultimate destination in this skill needs to be developed now. So you need to be sending me a number specifically, not a zone. And you need to take advantage of the free mentorship. Understand that. Yes, this is free, but just because it's free doesn't mean that it doesn't have value. And 250 was 250. What? High or low at 250 was at 250. You sure about that, Native? Around 350-ish. He says around 350-ish. Around 350-ish, like right around this zone, is somewhat correct. You are correct if you're looking at this high right over here inside the zone, partially. However, the issue with this is we took out this low over here almost, and we immediately shifted right back. So the true answer to this, 3,400, no. The true answer to this question here is 3065. At 3065, they said that we don't want to go no lower. 3065, this right over here, whenever we pop this high right over here inside this zone, from taking out this low in this current market structure, they said that we no longer want to go any higher in this leg. The reason why that's the case is because look at us displaced down over here in a straight line. We bounced. We came lower, we bounced. We came lower, we bounced, and then like we goofed around here, and we 30 in the morning until 9. This right over here, like this high right over here, really more so tells the story. To me, honestly speaking, on this leg down. And then once we popped this and then we made a new low, from this high to this low, now more so tells the story for me. So once we eclipse this high over here, this is now telling me that immediate term that we're no longer trying to go lower. That's what it's personally telling me personally. Because now you need to look at how the market behaved whenever we popped this high over here. We came over here and it was still bearish, we went sideways. When we popped this high, the market started doing this now, look. Immediate term. Immediate term, it started doing that. But if you come over here to a 5-minute time frame, look at what it's doing over here on an intraday basis. Look. It's still bearish on an intraday basis. Overall, that is. As in like this, yeah, they popped this, but it's still lower than this overall. Like over the course of like from the 3rd until the next day. Because the high of this day is lower than the high of this day. So on an intraday basis, this market's still bearish. Because the 3rd high is here. The 4th high is here. So on an intraday basis overall, like over the course of one day, it's still lower. So even though that, don't be confused, because you go, bro, we just bounced 1.5%. How's this market bearish on an intraday basis? It's just that we just displaced a huge amount. But this high is still lower than this high and this high from the previous day. So this is still part of the bearish sequence. They just like to screw people that like to short inside the hole. That's all that was. Understand that. So back to a 1-minute time frame. Immediate term, though, it's bullish. So if you're sitting here and if you can't identify this and if you short this over here thinking, man, this is a good time for me to short this, they will blow up your account by squeezing it in a straight line 500 ticks, and then like they can pull it back 500 ticks because it's immediate term. Understand that. And so it's immediate term bullish if you're just trying to short this bullishness. But if you're willing to hold on to a trade for like a day or two, then you'll be right eventually, because then they'll just give it all up. Understand that, because that's intraday sell side. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? about anything I just said. Bro, how many Bullet Nuts accounts can you purchase? Is it like Apex? You can purchase an unlimited amount of Bullet Nuts accounts, and you can have an unlimited amount in reserve, but you can only have active 11 max at the same exact time. And the only way that that's the case is for every single Bullet Nuts account that you get to the buffer past the initial 3 that you can have access to, past the initial 3, you can activate another one up to 11. So as it stands right now, I have 7 or 8 active. So for every one that you get to the payout buffer, to the safety net, you can then message them, and then they will send you a link in order to activate the other ones. Understand that? You see what I'm saying? So that's how that works. So, but you can have up to 3, and then once you get the most recent one to the buffer, then send them a message, and then they'll say, okay, here's fastest is Apex. Because I just did eval instant pass with Apex just now on Friday, and I got the link to activate 20 funded accounts with Apex. I now only have to make $3,500 to make $35,000 with Apex. I just have to make $3,500 now to make $35,000 every single time. That's it. So I just have to pass an evaluation, and so for every time I pass an evaluation, I get paid $35,000 in cash with Apex. There's nothing better. The only thing is will they catch on, and then will they ban your account, and how many IDs do you have? That's the only thing. You guys see the rejection from that 1 hour overlap in that 5 and that 15? My fault, I zoomed out. After a high is popped, I look for one more high to form. I totally understand everything. Also, just blew how much of those instant pass? You need to get them as cheap as possible. You need to get them as cheap as possible. Okay. I totally understand it. Also, just blew my live account. Give up $1,400 exactly like you said. Why are you trading your live account? Why are you doing that for? That's a serious question. Why are you doing that for? Why are you not? How much cash does your live account have in it? That's a serious question. I'm being dead serious. Guys, if your live cash account has anything less than $25,000 to $30,000 or $40,000 liquid, you don't need to be trading that live cash account. You need to be on prop firms. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. $1,400. Why? You can't even enter into 2 micro. You can't even enter into 2 minis on that. If you have one bad trade against you, you will blow the entire account. Why are you doing that for? Who told you that? Who's your mentor? Why are you not inside Discord? I know you said you was getting ready to sign up, but I would be telling you that. You don't need to be trading no live cash account with $1,400. You are literally one trade away from full-blown disaster, as you just saw. Even a $59 per month access, I would then save you from doing those things. Not save you as in like you still can do whatever the hell you want to do. But if you mention something like that, like, hey, in passing, like, hey, I'm getting ready to trade my live cash account, and I see that, I'm going to be like, hold on, wait, what? Unlikely to happen, Lorenzo. For you to make 100% on that live cash account and just never go back, or for you to lose $1,000 in like a day or two and blow up the entire account, and like you can't trade because you can't trade on no damn $300 or $400. What's more than likely to happen statistically? And I need you to be honest. For you to make not even 200%, which is $2,500, because you do know 20% per year, like on average based off of capital. Because if not, then you'd be on, you know what I'm saying? Or for you to lose $1,000. You need to be on prop firms, and you need to be following risk management, and you need to be leveraging your money in the best way possible to get as many cracks at success as possible. I'm being honest with you. So that's an expensive learning lesson here. And this is the lesson. Lose $1,000 for sure, correct. And this is the lesson that I try to give people all the time. You will pay one way or the other. Everyone wants to talk about, hey man, I can learn for free doing this. Hey man, I can go on YouTube and I can learn strategies. I don't need no mentor. I can figure this out. But no one wants to talk about the back end of the cost of not having a mentor talk to you on a daily basis that knows exactly what he's talking about, or she knows exactly what she's talking about. Because let's not be sexist. No one wants to talk about that. So you just blew up that live cash account, for example, and you have to immediately reverse and do something completely different, and you still might step on a new landmine. That right there is like what I'm talking about. So now you have to go back and try and go back to the prop firms with less money now. So I'm gonna always be transparent and honest. You wanna know why? You wanna know why I'm always be transparent and honest? Simply because it's only $59 to be inside there a month. I'm not charging $5,900 or $2,000 to where like my income is dependent upon lying to you or trying to tell you the truth. Because if you're successful, you're successful. Then you just want to stay inside here or not. That's why I changed to a lifetime membership. So you could be in here forever for $400. So like I know for a fact I can provide more than $400. So like if you're in here, then you're in here for forever. That's just how this is gonna go. Then you're gonna want to hang out. You know, back on prop firm. After highest pop, I look for one more high to form. There's no way in hell, honestly speaking, that I would consider long in this zone. You wanna know why? Because we just did a dead cat bounce and we just bounced almost 2% from the lows over here from Friday. And then we just popped this high and this high over here and we just tapped into this 15-minute SIBI. The last thing I would be doing right now is trying to long this market. Because you want to know why? Because this ties into this overall lesson that I was giving you. Go to a 3-minute time frame and look at this. Look. If you think that this market is just going to just do like this, I don't know what to tell you. On an intraday basis, this is all that they're doing. So they're forcing you right now to buy this top. What happens during London or New York session? Just watch. Just watch what happens during London or New York session. Sorry about that. Just watch what happens. This is nothing more than a dead cat bounce. They're going to reattack sell side. So if you understand market structure, then on a bounce like this, you honestly should really realistically be seriously licking your chops and be going, man, I hope that they come somewhere up inside the zone here. I got to reset my internet. But it's going to be hard in order for you to perfectly time this over here because we did just dump 5 percentile in a straight line, essentially speaking. So they didn't really, from these high zones, it's going to be 2 to 3% bounces. Understand that. Because from this high to this low, that's 2%. From this high to this low, that's another 2%. So all that they did in a straight line. This is why liquidity is cater about. Liquidity doesn't really give a shit about like distance or oversold. It answers the question of where they're going next. If your strategy does not answer the question of where are they going or what are they targeting, then where are they trying to go, then you need to throw it in the trash for real. If you're already making money doing it, if you're making tens of thousands of dollars a day, then just ignore what I just said, because I don't want you to change. But still, though, that still does not negate the fact. So if you're insanely profitable and you tell me and you're like, bro, I keep making tens of thousands of dollars a day trading these trend lines, and that doesn't answer the question, so be quiet, please. Then keep doing what you're doing. Don't let me change you. But that's still but your strategy still doesn't. You're this high to low is another 1.4% from percent. Now they're going to diminish us now talking about this. So going into tomorrow, you're not confused and you're like, bro, why did the market just dump 2% again? What the heck again? I would honestly, from this high to this high, the distance is so great. Chris and them, this market is not bullish. We just did a lesson before I delve into how to avoid disaster. I sort of kind of gave a hint to it, but does anybody have any questions? So you need to plug in your strategy and you need to know how long you like to hold on to trades. If you're a micro scalper and you like to take 30, 40 ticks or so, then you need to be concerned about immediate term. As in, like, when we squeeze up in a straight line, you need to be looking for zones like 1, 5, and 15-minute BIST clusters and then with confirmation, long it, and then you need to be targeting like the next high. Like we come here, we pull back. You need to be longing it like here, and you need to be targeting like these highs here, or like we have a shifted market structure. You need to be long in pullbacks. You need to be targeting internals like this. If that's your strategy, that's how you do that. If you're like Chris, for example, then like on a bounce like this, you need to be shorting it like here, so that you can then like target, like Chris will then target lows like this over the course of like 2, 3, 4 hours or an entire session almost. And he'll short it here and then he'll make like 1,200 ticks to the downside. But you don't need nothing like that for real. You really, honestly speaking, to change your life, you really only need to understand market direction. And you need to short this right over here like this on like 2 or 3 micros, bro. And you need to be out whenever we sweep. Like, guys, can you imagine if you press this short button right now, right? Can you imagine, like, if you seriously press this short button 60 seconds ago on this bounce, and then you target this low right over here inside the zone like this, and you make 200 ticks to the downside of this off of 3 micros, that's $300. If you do this 10 times, you get a max payout. Do you understand that? Or if you did it on 5 micros during agent session, and you did that for 5 days like this, and you just targeted this low like this, right? And you wait for this low to be swept out of this sell side model because I told you you're not trying to go no higher. And you just start stacking payouts like this market is bearish overall. So you need to be, you see that? You need to be looking for every damn reason to be short in this market. There's no reason why you should be long in this. There's zero indication. This right here proves my point exactly. I was saying just try to hunt sell side. They only wanted to pop this high over here. Understand what I just told you. Look at what Discord just did. Look. Understand this. Look. Look. He was not profitable before he joined this Discord. He understands market structure now. Look. Excuse me. Look. Took that. $4,800. That he didn't take that because I just told him to, because what I'm saying aligns with what he's thinking. Understand that. Top froze. Top step froze. See what I'm saying? Couldn't even fully trail. See what I'm saying? Once you understand market structure, it will make taking trades a lot easier. They were never trying to go higher. So if you was long in this, like how Lorenzo said earlier, like he was like too early, back in on the upside trying to recoup. Why would he be doing that? Why did you think, what makes you think this market is bullish over the course of an hour or two? Either you're going to take 2 or 3 minutes and try and get like 50 or 60 ticks and be out within like a few minutes. But like, you need to be looking for every reason to be short in this market. And you need to be with a mentor that's going to help you understand that. You need to be inside this Discord. If you can't do that, then then you're going to keep on stumbling. And you are going to pay the cost of a mentor times 100. There is no escaping. There is no escaping. There is none. I tell people that all the time. I wish I had a mentor that was honest with me and that was going to tell me the truth and that didn't care to feed me lies or confuse me and try to get me to stay subscribed to some membership or some mentorship because I'm paying them $2,500 a month or $1,500 a month. I wish somebody would tell me the truth of what was required so that I can then determine what I needed to do from top to bottom. Understand what I just told you? I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to the market maker before I understood this. Whereas a mentor would have just costed me maybe a few $1,000 at the absolute most if I was paying someone that was heavily inflated. Bullish. I mean, not bullish. Bearish market is. They're trying to hunt sales up. Understand that. Now, technically speaking, they're still doing this. Immediate term, this is still bullish immediate term, as in over the session. But intraday wise, they aren't bullish intraday wise man, until they come on somewhere up into this zone for real. So they're still trying to hunt sell side right now. So any bounce is probably going to be snuffed out over the course of 2 to 3 hours. You are going to be pulling your hair out trying to make money for anything, for any trade that lasts anything longer than 45 minutes to an hour. It is going to be like pulling teeth with a toothpick. You are going to be, dude, it's going to be almost impossible because you're that I have seen personally. Everyone likes to talk about market structure, higher highs and higher lows, but no one breaks it down that I've seen into 3 categories like this. I had to break this down into 3 categories like this so I could understand. And also, one of the most important things about a mentor is having someone that's going to explain it to you in a sensical way so that you can interpret the information across the board, so that you can incorporate. Because what good is a teacher if that teacher is speaking Mandarin and you only speak English? I don't care how good the teacher is. What good is that? Be on alert, as Mass Trader would say. Help my pattern recognition develop so much faster, he says. Hyper from Discord says. Thank you, Hyper. Absolutely. You need to understand pattern recognition. This is true patterns, not no head and shoulder, or no trend line, or no inverse head and shoulder, or no cup and handle. This market is not trying to have a tea date with you. What the hell makes you think this market is going to know some damn cup and handle? Those fools, they brainwashed me into thinking that was the case. How dare they? Cup and handle. Like the market is British. And the market wants to go on a tea date with me. What the hell? Or or W pattern, because the market likes to put W's in the chat for everyone who wants to long it. So when you see a W, the market likes to know it's ABCs. So W dubs in the chat for the long side. What the hell? Who told you that? Who came up with these ideas? I'm serious. I wonder. Were those people hallucinating? Were they on shrooms? You need to not be on shrooms if you're trading. I think that's dangerous. I'm being honest with you. Stop and just think about that. Use your brain. Why would $100 trillion in assets be going off of a W pattern? It might look like that because you're hallucinating, but I'm not putting my money on the line for nothing like that. You crazy as hell. Be on alert. That's what you need to be. Okay, timestamp 9:21. Anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions about anything that I just said? Is anybody confused about anything? Would anyone like me to elaborate on the market structure? Okay. Does anybody have any questions before I move on to the next point?
I'm a little confused about that higher high. Confirm any buying. Other than that, I'm gonna stay bearish. My thing.
And for the sell side, what you need to do is want to sign up for 3 days. That's impossible. That's why our free trial is there. But however, it'll show you. So I trade live every single day. Monday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from from TikTok, 9, 10 a.m. in the morning from inside Discord in order to go over the pre-market trading plan to give students the best opportunity to succeed. 3-day free trial for the Knowledge Center in order for you to understand. 7-day free trial for Discord. Why? Because I wouldn't want to separate you from $59 per month. And then mentorship is free. Guidance is free. Okay? So, because I have ADD, I got confused and I got distracted. Abundance question is how long to hold on to trades, rather. What you need to be doing is that you need to understand whether or not that the strategy and the size that you are personally trading and the account that you are trading, let me put it like this. The account that you are trading and the size that you are trading and what you are trying to overall accomplish determines how long you hold on to that trade. Understand what I just told you. If what I just said is confusing to you, you need to sit down and you need to try to reprocess that. Why is that the case? If you are in an intraday trailing drawdown account and you are in 20 micros or 2 minis, and the market does some weird shit like this here, and you short this, like let's just say that you perfectly time this right over here, and you short this right up at the top of the consequent encroachment of 15-minute SIBI, and the market dumps 500 ticks like this in a straight line, and you are in 20 micros, which is 2 minutes, on an intraday trailing drawdown account, 500 ticks, right? And you make, I'm sorry, because you wouldn't be doing that in this environment. Let's just say 10. And you make 25, and you're up $2,500, and you're like, woo, boy, this is getting good. I just got to hold on to these lows over here. And then they tap this 15-minute BISC, and you're not paying attention, and they bounce this market up 300 ticks in a straight line like this, and like literally, in like 5 minutes. Do you understand that you would only have $1,000 in drawdown right now, even if you close this trade out over here in profit, and like if you were trailing this? So like, let's just say you trailed this over here, and this shit bounced up against you like this. You would only have $1,000 left to then goof around before you blew the account. So you would blow the account in the green because it's an intraday trailing drawdown account. If you on the end of the drawdown account, the hell, you could just go break even and just let it ride into oblivion. That changes the trading that changes the trading style that you're doing. It changes your ability in order for you to structure trades. So that's the first portion whenever I say it's dependent upon the account that you're trading, your psychology, what you're trying to get out of things, how consistent you want to be. All of those different things determine that. And that determines the first thing. The second thing that determines that is your psychology and your trading style, and whether or not that you're going against intraday or immediate term market structure, if that makes sense. So how you determine that second portion of this entire journey is determining, hey, well, like, how long do I typically hold on to trades for? Do I typically like to hold on to trades for an hour or two? Do I do best hold on to trades for an hour, 2 or 3 hours? Or do I typically do work best, hold on to trades for, 2, 3, 4, 5, less than 10 or 15 minutes, man? If you can't answer that question, then you need to be on paper. If you can't answer that question, you need to be on paper. You don't need to be in the game. What does that mean? I'm going to help explain it to you. Can you imagine you going, hey, bro, I want to be on the NBA court right now, and someone goes, hey, what do you do? Like, imagine a coach walk up to you and say, hey, what do you do best, sir? Or what do you do best, ma'am? And you go, I really don't know, coach. I'll determine that when I get out there. He's going to look at you. He's going to be like, what? The coach is going to look at you and be like, wait, what? I'm going to put this in layman's terms because I am a professional. I was a professional athlete. So I'm going to put this in layman's terms because most people don't understand what I just said. Like, okay, layman's terms, like, are you a shooter? Really aren't super, like, invested in the sports, rather. Like, are you like Steph Curry where you shoot threes best? Are you like, Magic Johnson? Because I have to go back in the back days because some people are older. Like Magic Johnson where, like, you pass best, you get people involved the most. That's what I'm talking about. So, like, you need to know that. So, because how can you seriously be the best player that you can be if you don't know who you are? You need to have an identity. That's why so many people fail with trading, because you can keep lying. Come on, bro. Come over here to the winner side. No, it will force you to stay there until you look at that mirror. So, with that being said, like I told you, you need to not be trying to buy longs inside the zone When they pop this high, boy, this market is bearish. This is only bullets to take out this high. You need to be looking for every reason to be shorting this. Every bounce is going to be snuffed out for the next few hours. Every bounce is going to be snuffed out for the next few hours. So, to finish Abundance question, you need to ask yourself, okay, if I target internals based off of my size, is this going to be good enough for me? That needs to be, sorry. That needs to be the answer to your question. I'm being dead serious. So, with me personally, honestly speaking, I'm gonna be for real with you. I'm personally looking at, like, I know for a fact, personally, that if I'm just targeting internals like this here, and whenever we pull back and we bounce up into something like this, I know for a fact that if I can get 200 ticks on 3 to 5 micros 2 or 3 times a day, I'm good. That's me. So I know that I can comfortably do something like this numerous times throughout the day and avoid something like this happening, literally a 30-second 500 tick candle against me like this. Look at that candle. Like, I want to avoid shit like that. So what I do is I just target the internals. That's me. But you can't hold on to you can't hold on to trades like this for an hour or two on numerous size. Let me block this dude. You can't do that on huge size because you will get cooked. So what I find it best is to target internals based off of the accounts that I have. If I have an end of day account, then you know what? I might be a little bit more tempted in order to let trades run. So the account that you have determines that as well, and your trading style and your psychology. I just don't like leaving money on the table. I would rather leave money on the table after the fact than leave money on the table during the trade. Understand what I just said? I would rather know that I'm right and have a lot of confidence and go, man, I made $500, but you know what? The trade ran $1,500. Talking about. Can you imagine how high your confidence would be? And trading is a lot about smart and directional confidence and knowing what you're looking at. Can you imagine how confident you would be on entering the trades if that occurred almost all the time? But can you imagine how unsure you would be if you shorted this over here like this, and then like it dumped 500 ticks, and 60 seconds later they shot it up 600 ticks like this in a straight line, and you lost on the trade numerous times? You would sit here and be like, bro, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing.
Throw the mouse at the screen.
You said what?
I'll throw the mouse at the screen.
Yeah. You said, oh, look, you said what? You said what is crazy? What'd you say?
I say I'll throw the mouse at the screen because when I see that candle go up like that, I'm already trying to take a risky short.
Yeah. Yeah. Hyper said be
the
careful.
move, the entry of that move was up top. That's a 2022 right there.
Absolutely.
So the move, after it go about 50% down or whatever and stuff, man, you asking for trouble.
Correct.
You got to be in and out, so it's like a little scalp.
Exactly. Yeah. So as it stands right now, immediate term, I would still say that this market is bullish immediate term. I'm being dead serious. You want to know why? Because to me, until we eclipse like this low or this low, this market just did this immediate term. But intraday wise, this market is like trust me, over the course of the next session or two, if you don't think that we're going to come back somewhere inside the zone, then I don't know what to tell you. He said, yeah, my mindset was wrong. I don't know why I ever went live. You want to know why? Because you didn't have a mentor. You had no one talking to you, and you're not even side here, but I'm just giving you serious advice. I have no real leverage without at least 20 to 30K in the account. And guess what? I'm getting ready to reveal something to you. You want to know why? Have you, this is a serious question, Lorenzo, because you say you're getting ready to join, but that's fine. Hopefully we'll see him, but guess what? I got a serious question for you, and I want you to respond to this. Have you ever heard, do you know what PDT is? Do you know what PDT is? Peter? No. You don't know what pattern day trading is? You don't know what that is? The pattern day trading rule, you don't know what that is? Yes or no? Do you know what that is? Say yes or no again. I haven't heard of that before. It's a rule that's placed. So I'm not calling you poor, because believe it or not, I'm poor. Because unless you have 10 million liquid, it doesn't, like, you're still poor. There is a federal rule that is in place. Because do you know how many people have less than $25,000 liquid in cash ready to just goof around? Probably like less than like 1 to 2% of humans. So there's a rule where they weed out poor people from doing this because they know that poor people don't want to seek mentorship or guidance or professional advice. You cannot day trade, even still right now. They're getting ready to get rid of it. So can you imagine how many people are getting ready to get hurt? Like this is lunacy. Like I sound like a lunatic. But there's this rule called pattern day trading. Look it up. Just go on Google if you don't believe me and type it up. It's called pattern day trading rule. What's that? If you have less than 25,000 liquid inside of an account, you cannot trade. If your account goes to $24,999 liquid, you can't enter into more than 3 trades during an entire week, during a rolling weekly period. You can't do that. So like if you take a trade on Monday, like if you take a day trade and you trade on that day and you close that trade out that day, either for a loss or profit or even a stop loss, that trade won't fall off and you won't get that one trade back until the next Monday. That is to stop poor people from, I have heard of that. I see what you're talking about. I didn't know that was the name, correct. That rule right there is to stop poor people because everyone thinks that they could just log into here and just start day trading. The government put that in place because people were losing so much money and no one wanted guidance because no one knows what they're doing. You can with a cash account. No, you cannot. You have to wait for the cash to settle. I day trade without having that much money. Do you? You lying, bro. Look it up. You have to wait for the cash to settle. I'm not lying. Look it up. Look it up. Do you have a margin account? Are you trading on margin? I promise you, of course you can do that on a cash account. But you have to wait for the cash to settle. I'm not lying. I use a Ramon hedge fund. Why would I lie to you about that? I'm not lying to you about that. What are you talking about? Why would I lie about that? I'm not lying. Look it up. I got a little yes or no. Watch this. I'm going to break it down to you. Are you trading futures? Yes or no? What are you trading? I'm smiling right now because I want you to answer this question. What are you trading? No. What are you trading? Literally right now, I'm on this shit right now. You're trading futures. If you're trading right now, you're trading futures. You're not trading stocks. And you have to wait for the cash to settle. Look it up. Look what pattern day trading is. That is a 100%. I am. Look up what pattern day trading is. Just look it up. Yes, they're getting ready to do rid of. Yes, they're getting ready to get rid of. No, I'm not, bro. Literally. What do you mean? Okay. So you're the only guy where you can just have less than 25,000 inside of account and then you can trade stocks. however you want to freely on a margin account. Okay. They get rid of it the fourth. That is correct. They're getting rid of it the fourth. That is correct. They're getting ready to do rid of it. I can't believe they got rid of that. Correct. They got rid of it. Correct. And more people are going to lose money. Don't start bringing up I'm the only person. No, I'm just letting you know that. Like, I'm just saying that just in general. You can get rid of it if you have a cash account, yes. But you have to wait for the cash to settle. That doesn't mean that you can't day trade. You can still take trades that same day, but they will limit the amount of trades that you can take. And then if you do that, they will then flag your account for PDT. And then if they flag your account for PDT and then you still do it again, then they will ban you from doing so. And the only way to get rid of that is to drop down to a cash account, and then you have to wait for the cash that you took that trade on to then settle. That is a 100% fact. The rule is gone as of the 4th, E. Correct. The rule is, hold on, the 4th of June? So they got rid of it the 4th of June. That's what they did? Brett, you talking about the 4th of June or the 4th of July? Which one?
Of June.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so 3 days ago. Okay, cool. So 3 days ago. So yes, that is correct. So what's the limitation? I think that you have to have what? At least 2,000 inside the account now? They dropped it from 25,000 to 2,000, correct? What is it, 2,000? Because I remember reading up on it. What is it? Is it 2,000 or is it 25,000? What is it?
2,000 if it's intraday, and it's more if it's like Asia and London.
You said what? Repeat that? You broke up.
I think it's 2,000 for intraday, and then I think it's more if it's like Asia or London session.
Correct. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So it was 2,000. So I am caught up. Correct. Justin says 2,000. That is correct. So you are correct as of Thursday, but for decades upon decades upon decades, or God knows how long that was the case. Okay. So there's that. So yes, I knew it was going to come into effect sooner or later. So yes, 2,500. I thought it was 2,000. But nevertheless, though, this still proves my point. That rule was in effect for God knows how long, for God knows how many decades, for forever almost, like God knows for like 30, 40 years for that exact reason. Because no one wants guidance. Everyone wants to become a millionaire, but no one wants to actually learn how to run $1 million business. That's the issue. That's the problem. So they had just approved that to be released. It's been in the works for like a year or two, but it had just got done like literally Thursday. So it still proves my point exactly. So I am fully aware of that. So technically speaking, are you correct? Can you do that now? Yes, if you have at least 2,000, sure. But you get the point. I wonder why they want everyday people to essentially gambling, prize picks, better, etc. You want to know why? Because no one wants guidance. Because everyone's trying to get rich, and they know for a fact that they can make money off you either way. So these people make money off of this spread over here. So they know that if you buy, you have to sell. So if they can get as many people to buy into this market and just get in and out, then they make God knows how much money. I'm being dead serious. This market doesn't care if it goes up or down. You think that it does, but it does not. It's only trying to go to a spot where it can fill orders. Like, they don't care about anything else because they have the only store in town. Retail-focused platforms like Robin and Webull, Schwab, and SoFi are expected to benefit. That is correct. Why wouldn't they? They get paid off of the commissions and off of the spread, the market maker. Why wouldn't they? That's why the Citadel and them can keep on having yearly profits year after year. Groundbreaking years year after year. If that makes sense. So there's that. Don't start bringing, okay, I already read that. They have until October of 2027 for brokers to change it, it said, correct. So it essentially just came into effect, and, depending upon the broker, you know what I'm saying, like they may have incorporated it. But the PDT rule is still in effect sometimes, like across certain brokerages and stuff like that. But but it had really just started to come into effect literally, because today's trading day didn't really start for real. So what, 2 days ago, like a day or two ago maybe. So that's what I was saying. But the rule was still there. Like that rule was the rule for like 40 years, because no one wants to learn. Everybody wants to. Everybody wants to jump behind the wheel of a car and learn how to drive and be a NASCAR driver, but no one wants to take a driver's license test. No one has no licenses, and then they wonder why the accident rate is so high. Start a brokerage if you want to get rich from the market. That is correct. The fastest way to get rich is to give the illusion that poor people can get rich as fast as possible. Understand what I just told you? That's the fastest way to get rich. And that's the fastest way to attract the masses. Understand what I just told you? Like casinos, prize picks, all of those things, everything that alludes to people getting rich the fastest, those people get richest the fastest because they just take advantage of poor people. And it's just a never-ending cycle. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. That's how this works. Gambling is one of the best ways in order to make money. That's why casinos have that's why casinos make so much money. I'm just being honest with you. Feed off people's needs. You feed off people's greeds. You feed not their needs, you feed off their greeds. That is also a good way to get rich as well. You feed off, but I think that you feed off their greeds and you feed off their desires, their inner desires. And you feed off of people's laziness. Everyone wants to be lazy. No one wants to sit here in front of a computer and show up to the class like this and learn and sit down and take notes and then go, man, you know what? I'm going to devote 6 to 9 months of my time and it's going to give me a headache, but I'm going to invest in this and I'm not going to be rewarded initially. I'm going to lock in, I'm going to focus, and I'm going to at least know that I don't know. I'm going to submit myself to the process, and I'm going to say, you know what? I really don't know everything I thought that I knew. I'm going to seek out guidance, and I'm going to follow instructions, and I'm going to piece together certain things from what this person is saying. And what they do well, I'm going to pick up on those. What they don't do well, I'm not going to do those things. And then what I do well, I'm going to keep what I do well. And then I'm going to improve on those things, and I'm going to be a better person and a better investor or a better trader or whatever it is. And I'm just let the cards lay where they lie. Everybody wants to log into this computer and think they're going to be a millionaire. That's just not how this works. I didn't become a millionaire until I understood that. I'm being dead serious. I would have kept on churning my wheels. Feed off people's needs. I already read that. Algorithm making new money liquidity, yet they're just goofing around. The market right now is mixed between immediate buy side delivery and intraday sell side. So it's just bouncing and just goofing around right now. You need to be shorting up here at this top. I'm back, Kalia says. What's going on? That's actually funny. They get you hooked by winning, not losing. Maybe I'm being conspiratorial, but some fishy. No, that's true. That is 100%. If you deposit $500, we'll match it. Why do you think that they're doing that? Stop and just think about that. Because I know y'all see those commercials where they go, hey, your first $100 deposit will match it. Or, hey, your first $250 will match it. Why do you think that they're doing that? Back, Nico says, yes, that's what they're doing. Because they know that if you have one small chance at success, your brain is going to be hooked. They know that. And they know that over the course of time, considering you don't know what the fuck you're doing, that they can get all their money back from you and more. These people don't care if they make $500,000 from you or if they make damn $50 from you, because they know that if they just get a specific amount of people, then like they've accomplished their goal. But they will get their money from you sooner or later. You can only fool yourself but so long. Your luck will run out. Skill needs to take over and experience needs to take over. And you only understand that from running it successfully. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. So stop gambling. Stop doing that weird shit. Stop searching for a get-rich-quick scheme. Stop doing that. That doesn't exist. The only way that you're seriously going to get rich is by following a system that is proven over the course of time. If you don't have a system, you're going to lose everything. And there is no escaping. I'm being dead serious. So it doesn't matter even if you make $10,000 one month, $10,000 the next, and $20,000 the third month. If you don't have a system on month 5 or 6, you are going to crash out because you're not going to know what you're doing. On month 4, you're going to be cooked because you won't know how to survive. Understand what I just told you. That is 100% irrefutable. Understand that. What you should be doing is that you need to be stacking demo. And you need to have a system in place. You need to be inside here so that we can go over that. I can't necessarily outline that for you right now over the course of TikTok because I don't know what you know, what you don't know, where your journey is, and all these different things. Like, I'm not trying to price gouge you, bro, for $59 or for a 7-day free trial from inside Discord, bro. I'm not trying to do that. But how can I seriously answer that question? It's just like how someone is going to give you advice, they need to know your positioning and where you're at. Guys, if someone cannot offer you sound financial advice or any kind of advice if they don't know who you are or what situation you're in. If you ask someone for help, and their first response is not, are you a good fit for me? Or, where are you at in life? Is this, tell me about yourself. What are you struggling with? Where are you at? What have you done before? Just any one of these numerous questions so that they can gain a better picture. They don't know what they're talking about. Algorithm making new people liquidity. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? So, yeah, nah. And I don't charge for that. So once you're inside Discord, I don't charge for that. In any event, does anybody have any questions? Timestamp is 9:53. We've been going on this rant now for a little while. Anybody have any questions about anything? I thought it was an okay class. It was okay. More so psychology again. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm personally right now live stream here. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Before I go with this pre-market trading plan. Okay. No. Okay. For those who chose easier days to trade from the terminology for the non-farm payrolls, we get to participate and have a fighting chance on Monday. If you didn't, lesson learned, and let's move forward, because let's not skulk about it. Market just dumped over 5% in a single day. Impressive. And I haven't seen that kind of carnage in a while. It's been about a year. The LOD met the EOD as I expected and kept saying on live stream. So expect further precipitation through New York and London session to the sell side and even through into New York. We will not just immediately reverse, but we will get market stabilization maybe into Monday afternoon, followed by a daily dead cat bounce. This is not the end of the world. We will dead cat. I said this at 7. Friday was just for the, quote, trend is my friend and buy every dip, dollar cost average traders. Market is trying to target 695.26 QQQ, 520 SPX gap fill at 73.55, and 7333 SPX sell side external liquidity as major multi-day objectives out of this serious intraday sell side model. They erased 3 weeks worth of gains in mere hours Friday, sending the market into deep negative HVL. Candles will be huge, so check the terminology on HVL. Click this hashtag. You need to downsize and still target liquidity. 80 to 100 ticks in this environment can come in mere seconds, and so can your stop loss if you're oversized. Do not catch falling knife. Catch falling or upward shooting knives in this environment. Sell orders are being met with a sell and buy with buy. The floor will keep falling and ceiling will keep expanding. Price will deliver cleaner, but you need to be sized accordingly And targeting liquidity is the clear answer, as it always is, because the only adjustment you'll ever need to make when trading liquidity is sizing to ever participate in true liquidity trading. See everyone at 9, 10 a.m. in the morning from the Discord to discuss. So, with that being said, that's part of the pre-market trading plan. How this relates to this is this. We can still do this. Listen, on a multi-day basis, this market is still bullish like this. We can still do this, Like, we can still do this here. Like, why not? On a multi-day basis, rather, right? However, on an intraday basis, we're probably going to do something like this, though. Something like this, potentially, okay? We dump down over here in a straight line, so as long as we don't maybe take out this high over here that we displaced from whenever we did something like this market is still bearish intraday. So, like, I seriously do, but a dead cat bounce is very likely because we just dumped 5.5% in a straight line. So when we bounce, don't be surprised if the next day we hunt sell side. The market is going to stabilize sooner or later. All right. So long story short, that's all that I'm saying. Internals, still. But because we're in negative HVL, the internals are going to be huge. So, like, for example, if you think that we're getting ready to go higher, you could long this right now and then target this internal here. From this internal to this internal, that's 400 ticks, dude. From this internal over here to this internal over here, that's 500 ticks, dude. So you can still target internals and make a killing if you can understand market direction, if your strategy aligns with it. Okay? I'm going to cut this live stream right now at 9:58 timestamp. DM me if you have any questions. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, let me go over this as well. The objectives to the downside. We need to go over here to a 15-minute time frame and look at this. Look, you see this right here? SPS gap fill at 73.55. Look at us close dead on these lows. Look, we're 0.5% away from this. What makes you think that SPX won't come over and fill this gap? What makes you think, personally, that QQQ won't try and target like a low like this, potentially like this? Why not come to 695? I'm being dead serious. Look at this. Look. Why not do something like this? See what I'm saying? No questions. Okay, good. Okay. So this right over here, I think, is like the coup de grace finishing blow. But they could do this over the course of multiple days, like do something like this. Guys, I don't think that they're going to do something like this. Guys, I don't think that they're going to go from 745 down to 695 in a straight line. I don't think that's the case. What I think is more likely is for them to do something like this. Like that. This is what I think is most likely. And then if I go to a 4-hour time frame like this, look at how it looks. If I go to a daily time frame, look at how this looks on a daily basis. Look. This is still bullish off the chain. Do you see? This is how market structure ties into higher time frames. So they'll still do something like this over here and goof around and sweep this, and then they'll come up higher like this. Understand what I just showed you? Okay? Do you believe that trading is 80% mindset and 20% strategy? Yes, I do. Should I just start trying to stack? Okay, I read that. Yes, I do. I seriously believe that. Which is why a lot of these classes are more so psychology based. And the technical analysis stuff is inside the mentorships and inside the Discord. And you can figure out this psychology and how to trade and from doing these different things by showing up to the mentorship, asking questions, and backtesting. I can only show you certain models. You need to backtest the models and choose which one makes sense for you. But the psychology is what needs to be trained. You need to have training on how to be a millionaire. Excuse me, and excuse my language. So I don't mean to be offensive. So excuse me if this comes off as derogatory. You need to learn how to train your brain to not be a monkey with $2 million inside of a briefcase and be dancing around and saying, I'm a multimillionaire." The monkey is a millionaire, but his brain is not. But his brain is and his psychology is not developed. So you can call a monkey a millionaire, or you can call, because a monkey's the only ones with the opposable thumbs. Otherwise, I would say a dog. But you can call a monkey a millionaire if he's holding a briefcase with $2 million in it. But does he know? But does he know what to do with that $2 million? Is the question. So technically speaking, is he a millionaire? Yeah, but his psychology is cooked. He needs to be trained. Your job is to not be like the masses and understand risk management and understand psychology in respect to your trading strategy. With that being said, it's 10 o'clock. We've been running the class for almost 2 hours. I'll be live tomorrow at 9, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from inside Discord, 10 a.m. in the morning from inside TikTok. I would love to have you if you want to join our community, because I love doing this with a passion. It is nqinsider.com. Please stay away from the scammers. DM me if you have any questions, please. All right, guys. Check the chat. Appreciate you. All right, Ra. Appreciate you too, Ra, for showing up. All right, guys. I'm going to cut it. Thank you, E. No problem. See you guys tomorrow. Catch you later, alligators. Catch you later, alligators. I love you, and I believe in you. All right. Thanks, E. Night, brother. Good night, guys. Sleep.
I'm in the.
Get to me whenever I'm sleeping because my phone's don't disturb. But before in the past, I used to be like, hey, are you sleeping? I'm like, nah, I'm just in the dark at 1 a.m. in the morning, just laying down, just doing nothing, and my voice sounds like this. So I thought you were being sarcastic.
Oh nah, like I'm dead ass.
It's in the dark, laying there, long day.
Yes. Oh my god, it's really long day.
Damn.
Like extremely. Your
What
sister
happened?
texted me.
Really?
Yeah, she wants to go to a Bryson Tiller concert with me.
What?
Yeah.
What's she talking about?
She sent me like a screenshot of the tickets, and she was like, "Oh." She was like, "The prices look reasonable. Would you be willing to go to a Bryson Tiller concert with me in September?" I was like, "Yeah, we could go."
Yeah, she likes concerts like that.
Yeah. I like Bryson Tiller, so.
You do?
Mhm.
Yeah, she does too.
How are you?
Doing okay, baby girl. I'm just ended last stream 60 seconds ago.